Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Earlier this week, one of your applications was to rate me. Swipe left, swipe right. On if the teachings are soft or hard. I'm reading to you a reflection from a seeker in Cleveland, Saloni. She wrote, I've played the number game for many lifetimes. Now it's time to rediscover infinity. What a great reflection. Another seeker from Chantilly, her name is Shobha. She is part of the highest vocation, and she wrote to me recently. Good morning, Vivekji. My grandmother always told me, if I have done a papa, please share, so I am sharing. I'm very embarrassed to say that I forgot to switch the alarm on last night and missed this morning's highest vocation. Sorry to take time for this. Thank you for organizing and your time. Regards. Yesterday, when I went to pick up our children in aftercare, their school finishes at 3:30 to 4:30. They get to be young boys, running around, eating snacks, and so on. And so when I went to pick them up, the aftercare coordinator was sharing that they're saying that they're going to go to Cleveland. And I said, yes, we're going to go to Cleveland. So they asked why. And our boys said, because they have friends in Cleveland. And the aftercare coordinator was trying to understand, how does a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old have friends in Cleveland? So I was trying to explain to her that I try to teach happiness. And so I travel throughout. And so our children are in a lot of new places and meet new people. And she said, that's cool. Reading the messages from seekers like you is most moving. Because trying to teach happiness and then seekers feeling happiness, that is a different dimension of experience. What I get to do is cool. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 17 is important. Pujaswami Tejomayananda made this clear to us. He repeatedly taught us, as one's faith, so one is. Sanatana Dharma means infinite nature. That means knowing who you are all the way to the end, to the foundation. Who we are, we typically think of our appearance or our degrees or our income and so on. In this chapter, as we're getting to know ourselves, at least let us internalize that we are our faith. In verse 4, those with lots of faith in themselves, then their purpose, faith expresses as your purpose, those with lots of faith, their purpose becomes values. Those with less faith, their purpose becomes valuables. And those with little faith, their purpose is valueless. They themselves don't have values or valuables, and they don't want others to have this purpose either. Shri Krishna continues elaborating on how deep faith is. You can be doing something, but intending something else. That comes out clearly in verse 5. Ashastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapo janaha dambahankara samyuktaha kamaraga balanvitaha. Joy. Ashastra vihitam. Not following the shastra or direction, still ghoram. In your books it says terrific. Another word is intense, like the word bhishma. Tapyante, one is engaged in or practicing tapaha, austerity or burning, ye janaha, such people. Putting this line together, there are some who live, who engage, who practice, but not with the flow of the map. Okay, that's the proposition in the first line. Let me add some reflections. Next week is Vijayadashami. Please share with me in the chat what is significant about Vijayadashami. It is the day where Bhagwan Rama defeated Ravana, as many of you are sharing. So let me give you some of a character analysis comparing Ravana and Bhagwan Rama. Ravana was powerful. However, there was a minus when it came to purity. Power minus purity equals pain. He lived in pain. This was expressed as insecurity. And then naturally, he created pain in so many ways. He was powerful. The word tapyante, tapa, they are practicing, but without that direction or purity. Comparatively, Bhagwan Rama is powerful plus purity. There is the direction of the map to divinity. That equals peace. He was peaceful. Everywhere he went, he created peace. Even in the final moments of the war with Ravana, all he asked for was for his spouse to be with him. There was no revenge mentality with Bhagwan Rama. Clear about this equation? Apply it to yourself. I feel all of us are powerful. I've shared so many times with the young adults that I interact with, they are far more educated than I am in terms of people who have gone through engineering school, law school, and so on. But I feel they're lacking in life is direction or purity. That's why they're not peaceful. IQ is futile if you don't have EQ and SQ. Let me share this in another personal way. Interacting with many young parents. Young parents are those who tend to be busy. This is their identity in life, that they're busy. And so a busy person, when it comes to sadhana or development, they are strong practitioners in spiritual shopping. They are spiritual shoppers. And this is clear because they have more money and less time. Just think about how Amazon grew so much. It's not necessarily because things are cheaper, but things are faster. Yes, delivery and so on. So what do young parents or anyone who's busy, what do they do in terms of sadhana? They scroll, they surf. Random video here, random teacher here, random time here. Do you relate to this? Now, putting this into an equation, access, social media has made development more accessible than ever. In the highest vocation, I can see people lying in their bed with their phones. It's not even that they're trying to hide it. Alarm went off, log into Zoom, let's contemplate. More accessible than ever, but if one is not active means names on, cameras on, notes out, not multitasking. So access minus active equals artificial. Artificial. It is like one thinking that they're evolving, but not feeling that they're evolving. If I put a white coat on, that doesn't make me a physician, correct? Now, comparatively, access, like we all have, plus active, like all of you are, equals authentic. It is you being active, you following directions whereby authentic changes or evolution happens in one's personality. Everyone sees how that plays out. Because we think Vijayadashmi, Ravana and Bhagwan Rama, but the same is happening today, in this hour. When one lives like this, in a painful, artificial way, the reason for this is Damba Ahankara Samyuktaha. Samyuktaha, they're tied to Ahankara. That means ego. And what this feels like is one who doesn't need to change. Everybody wants to change, but only some need to change. They feel, I'm tired of being tired, and so they need to change. But those who only want to change, damba, there is a hypocrisy. What they're doing and what they're intending are not aligned. And Sri Krishna goes deeper into this in regards to why is it that one lives by ego and hypocrisy? It is because of kama, desire, which expresses as raga or attachment. And this is bala, strong. Anvitaha, I told you, anvita means to be full of. It could be positive. In this case, it is negative. And so some highly reflective thoughts for everyone. I was listening to Puja Swami Tejomayananda yesterday. I had a quiet drive where I got to reflect even more. Attachment, the word that is used is raga, is when you want another to be happy for you. You want them to be happy, but then you want them to be happy for you. Think about that. So if you distill everything, really you want something. Love, from raga to anuraga, is when you want someone to be happy for them. You want someone to be happy for them. But here's the critical part. You will only live like this if you're already happy. You can only share what you have. If you're not happy, all of your relationships, you want them to be happy because you want to be happy. But if you're already happy, that is what love is. Why is it that we're not happy? Kama is indicative of not being happy. I'm reading Puja Swami Tejomayananda's words directly. In Bhakti Siddhanta, it is said, the cause of all our sorrow is the lack of love for God. If we loved God enough, we would be happy and we would love. But we don't love God enough, so we're unhappy and we get attached. And look at all of the chaos that comes from that. Hypocrisy, pain, artificiality, and so on. You look at your book, there's not even a commentary to verse 5. But we can invest many days just in these 2 lines. I had started off asking you to rate how I teach. Is there a number harder than 100? I think that's what should be a sign. From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to classify those you're interacting with in terms of, is their faith of values, valuables, or valueless? How many of you tried? For those who did, I hope your reflection has been that faith pervades all. Your purpose, the root of this, is your faith. Those whose purpose is big, it's because they have big faith. Those whose purpose is small, it's because they have small faith. Your application for this morning. I'd shared with you some time ago that I was going to go to Bharat or India in December for a United Consciousness conference in Ujjain. Do you remember me telling you about that? So now I can't go because of politics. My wife is an immigration attorney, but still I don't have an OCI card. See that objectivity? If you ask for it, you get it. I'm her husband of 13 years and I don't have one. Her only husband. It sounded wrong as I said that. And so I can't go. However, the conference is going to go on and I'm also going to speak, but I'm going to speak virtually. So your application is register for this conference. There are awesome teachers and awesome thoughts. Register for this. Go physically if you can, but if you can't, at least join virtually. And please remember how much you have accessed from United Consciousness over the past 3 years. When I had my board meeting on Wednesday with them, I was sharing, for more than 3 years now, we have not asked anyone for a single rupee or dollar yet. There's so much programming that is shared through United Consciousness. So register even if you're not going to attend. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be joy.